Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for this episode of Been All Around This World, a podcast exploring the life's work of folklorist Alan Lomax. With summer approaching our part of the world, and in actuality already arrived with the dog panting and the mosquitoes biting, we're devoting this episode of the program to songs of the sea. There are so many narrative ballads concerning the sea as to make your head swim. Then you add the legions of work songs from tall ships and whaling vessels to little fishing boats and canoes and john boats, songs of rope hoisting, sail raising, boat pulling, many of which, but not all of which, can be called chanties. We'll be hearing predominantly, but not exclusively, these kind of work songs today. When chanties do come to mind nowadays, you might envision a gang of bearded and barrel-chested blokes bawling out Shenandoah or Blow the Man Down at a vigorous pace, maybe keeping time by shoving pint glasses into the air. But in this 1955 interview that Lomax conducted with the Norwegian-born sailor, singer, and Royal Navy war hero A.H. Rasmussen, it's explained that the chanties were originally sung in time to the work, which was hard and grueling, and thus the songs were slow.
I was never more shocked in my life as when, on one occasion, I heard a series of chanties sung by a so-called shanty choir on the BBC programme, sea programme at that. Well, in the first place, they'd completely forgotten that shanties were entirely working songs with a tempo of their own and a tempo that fit in with the kind of work they were doing. There were slow march chanties, there were hand-over-hand chanties, and everything, the tempo of those chanties naturally depended on the tempo with which the work was done. Well, to quote an example, a very glaring one, the old chanty in Amsterdam there lived a maid. That was sung like this in the chorus. A roving, since roving be my ruin, and I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. Now, the actual tempo of that song, of that chanty, was governed by the tempo of the man working round the capstan, hauling up a damn big heavy anchor and a very, very heavy chain. Naturally, you can't prance about and do that sort of thing. It was done in a slow march, and to get a picture of it, you see these tough old sailors with their chests against the capstan bars, great big 6-foot-long oaken bars, very heavy, and straining every muscle, and you hear the tramp of their feet, and then they start the chanty.
The Yankee give number to Bill Carriacou, come blow, we can't say no.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
If you give me the rum, I will blow she away, bully.
Blow the man down.
Come blow, we can't say no.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
The Yankee give money to Bill Carriacou.
Blow the man down.
Come blow, she bung to go.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
If you give us the time, we will send she away, bully.
Blow the man down.
Come blow, we can't say no.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
If you give us the rum, we will send she away, bully.
Blow the man down.
Come blow, she bung to go.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
If you give us the rum, we'll send she away.
Blow the man down.
Come blow, she can't say no.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
If you give us the thing, we will send she away, bully. Come blow, she can't say no.
Give us some time to blow the man down.
Walk back.
A version of the familiar sailor song Blow the Man Down in a style you might not be familiar with. Led by a revered drummer named Daniel Aitkens, whose drumming we'll obviously have to hear on another program, that song was recorded during a tombstone feast ceremony, part of the highly Africanized big drum tradition of the Caribbean island of Carriacou that honor the spirits of the ancestors, or as they were known locally, the old parents. We also heard a brief interview and snippet of a shanty performed by A.H. Rasmussen, a Norwegian-born sailor, singer, and Royal Navy war hero who was originally recorded by the English folklorist Peter Kennedy, singing quite a few shanties in 1951. Lomax met Rasmussen in London in 1955. Rasmussen's recorded output with Peter Kennedy is available online through the British Library Sound Archive. Here's a song from a bit closer to home, but go to the Georgia Sea Islands today and try to find any trace of the activities mentioned in this one. Hop Along, Let's Get Her is a rowing song that dates to the time of the ferries, such as the Hesse, which you'll hear mentioned, that would take summer visitors to Brunswick from the Georgia mainland to Frederica on the island. The song leaders here are Big John Davis and Henry Morrison, two former fishermen. You're listening to Been All Around This World.
I see the Hesse, hop along, let's get him. Going to the army, loaded with the people. I see the ring till get her, oh, hop along, let's get him. Coming off the island, came to the Alamo. She's heavy loaded, hop along, let's get him. She's heavy loaded, gon' carry him to the Alamo. There's a ring till get it out, let's hop along, let's get him. That's a ring till get out, gon' carry him to the Alamo. Is he coming off the island? Oh, hop along, let's get him. Hey, to get her off the island, who came to the Alamo.
When the tide runs strong, sailing in the boat when the tide runs strong, sailing in the boat, the tide runs strong, and I'm looking for a jelly boy just like you. And a bargain for you, young man, and a bargain for you, young man. And a promise to mine, 7 years ago, hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. To your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Bargain, the night was strong. Sailing in the boat and the tide runs strong. Sailing in the boat, the tide runs strong. And I'm looking for a jelly boy just like you. A bargain for you, young man. A bargain for you, young man. And I'm come out to mine, 7 minutes ago. Hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. To your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. Just hold to your bargain, kiss it while you go. That's fine, that's fine.
A wonderful performance of a ring play by Elizabeth Austin and a group of unidentified women, recorded by Alan Lomax and Mary Barnacle in July 1935 at Old Bight on Cat Island in the Bahamas, a song identified as Sailing in the Boat When the Tide Runs Strong. And before that, we heard a recording from the Georgia Sea Islands from 1959, led by Big John Davis and Henry Morrison, a rowing song called Hop Along, Let's Get Her. This has been All Around This World, and thank you if you are in fact still listening. I know some of these old disc recordings can be tough, sonically speaking, but I hope you'll find that the crackle is a small price to pay for the wonderfulness of the music. Up next isn't a sea song per se, but a Great Lakes song pertaining to shipwreck from Beaver Island, Michigan, a recording made in 1938. By the mid-1930s, Beaver Island, which is the largest island in Lake Michigan, was more or less entirely populated by Irish immigrants, and largely from Donegal. Dominick Gallagher, or Gallagher, was a native Beaver Island singer, fiddler, piper, and dance caller who in his younger years had worked as a lumberjack, sailor, and lighthouse keeper. When he sat down to record, he told Lomax that his singing voice was out of practice, but that, quote, when I was younger with a drink or two in, I could sing pretty good for a short while. This is a ballad written by the Irish-born Dan Malloy in 1873, known as the Gallagher Boys, and alternately as Lost on Lake Michigan.
Was a October in 73, we left Beaver Harbor and Aitkens Sea. Bound away to Traverse City was our destination to go. We were crossing Lake Michigan where the stormy winds blow. We left Traverse City at 9 the next day, and down to Elk Rapids we then bore our way. We took in our store, and to sea we did go. We were crossing Lake Michigan where the stormy winds blow. The lookout, she's running before a hard gale. Upset went her rudder, and overboard went her sail. The billows were foaming like mountains of snow. We shall ne'er cross Lake Michigan where the stormy winds blow. His own brother Johnny, it grieves my heart sore to think we will never return to the shore. God help our poor parents, their tears down will flow. We'll ne'er cross Lake Michigan where the stormy winds blow.
Jet me the Aitkens bhàta, ferru Carriacou ye shalom. Jet me the Aitkens bhàta, jet me gan go katiana go khara. Jet me the Aitkens bhàta, ferru Carriacou ye shalom. Jet me the Aitkens bhàta, jet me gan khwacha yidis asnes gafa larta. Jet me the Aitkens bhàta, ferru Carriacou ye shalom. Jet me the Aitkens bhàta. Gaat me tegen douanig bewollige valley. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat een Carriacou je shalom. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat me te huur je vaak ja doelesje jaar. Me gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat een Carriacou je shalom. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat me eens gaan houden kunnen me verjuka waar. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Carriacou je shalom. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat me tegen daar zal gewinst nog nieuw me draad. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Carriacou je shalom. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Gaat me in bij je lakens komen die waard. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Carriacou je shalom. Gaat me te Aitkens water. Ja kan je dat zien. Misruggen kraas, ik ga het met de Aitkens water. Verder Carriacou je shalom. Gaat het met de Aitkens water. Gaat het met de inkesheer, ja gevarieer maar. Gaat het met de Aitkens water. Verder Carriacou je shalom. Gaat het met de Aitkens water. Sporke bouwse ruime skippa, jiviske skippelt de water. Gaat het met de Aitkens water. Verder Carriacou je shalom.
A walking song from the Hebridean island of Benbecula, recorded by Alan Lomax in June 1951. Led by a woman named Penny Morrison, it translates from the Gaelic as "I'll not go to a man without a boat." Lomax recorded a couple dozen spectacular songs of women at work in the Western Isles, namely in Benbecula, Barra, and South Uist. And they included quite a few performed while softening the newly woven tweed by walking it, soaking and thumping it rhythmically around in a circle. Sadly, Alan brought no photos or film back from his time in the Hebrides, but you can find some really beautiful images and videos online of the walking tradition, some of which include some of the singers he recorded. Before Penny Morrison and her friends, we heard a recording from 1938 from Beaver Island, Michigan, the ballad of the Gallagher Boys, alternately Lost on Lake Michigan, performed by Dominick Gallagher. Up next is a recording made in July 1954 on the southwestern Sicilian coast near the town of Agrigento, Cialomi, or tuna fishermen's chants. Alan Lomax recorded many facets of the tuna fishing in Agrigento. He also took some very beautiful photos of the fishermen at work, which you can see at culturalequity.org. In our photo collections there, you can find every extant photograph taken by Alan Lomax after the year of 1951. And then we'll finish this episode of Been All Around This World dedicated to songs of the sea by circling back to the tiny Caribbean island of Carriacou for one more shanty that is just so irresistibly wonderful, I don't think you'll mind retracing our steps. My name is Nathan Salzberg. I'm curator of the Alan Lomax Archive at the Association for Cultural Equity. We thank you so much for listening to the program this week. If you are not a subscriber, we're available through iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks again for listening. We hope to have you next time.
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Miriga sumala guraja. Oh, bye, baroche. Oh, bye, baroche. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Oh, bye, baroche, oh, bye, baroche. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Utsuduri guga potuja. Oh, bye, baroche, oh, bye, baroche. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Misa dita oh bye baroche, oh bye baroche. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. O sutarra si duman madiru mari jamaja. Oh bye baroche, oh bye baroche. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah. Camella, yo yo yo. Cavallo da camella, yo yo yo. Sembero mascarato, mascarato. Sembero mascarato, mascarato. Cavallo da camella, yo yo yo. Cavallo da camella, yo yo yo. Ti facisti fotografie, mascarato. Ti facisti fotografie, mascarato. Cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, attivitisti la curangoggio, mascarato. Attivitisti la curangoggio, mascarato. Cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, la rizza di mettisti in goggio, mascarato. La rizza di mettisti in goggio, mascarato. Cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, cavallo da camella. Yo yo yo, ci facista condonanza, mascarato. Ci facista condonanza, mascarato. La samata camella. Yo yo yo, la samata camella. Yo yo yo, pigiama mille fiori, mascarato. Pigiama mille fiori, mascarato. Cavallo mille fiori. Yo yo yo, cavallo mille fiori. Yo yo yo, e ti destiniamo alla curraisi, mascarato. Hooray, Irina, hooray, Irina. Before you go to jail, I want you lend me your crochet hat. Irina, public garage is yours. Etelina, put your motor inside. And before you go to jail, I want you lend me your crochet hat.
Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina!
Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. I'm in a public garage, just telling her put your motor inside. And before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Yes. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. I'm in a big water we in, telling a big water we in. And before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Yes. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Telling her let's pull for the show, telling her pull all for the show. And before you go to jail, I want you to bring me your crochet hat. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Telling her put your motor inside, telling her put your motor inside. And before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Telina, put your motor inside. Telina, put your motor inside. And before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Telina, let's put the boat inside. Telina, put the boat inside. And before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat. Hooray, Irina! Hooray, Irina! Before you go to jail, I want you to lend me your crochet hat.
And where have you been on your voyages, Mr. Newton?
I go all Dominick, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Barbados, Anguilla, Trinidad. All that way I sail all
in the West Indies.
In the West Indies.
Uh-huh. And you, what were you? Did you have your own boat, or did you go with other people's boats?
I was working with other people.
Uh-huh.
I never owned none.
Uh-huh. And all the time you were a shanty man. You sang.
Yes. All that time I was good.
Did you sing on board when you were pulling up anchor and?
Oh yes. Sometimes when we out at sea and the weather fair, you hear we sit down. We that day we sit down to sing shanty.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Only to keep you awakened.
Uh-huh.
All the time. Sometimes you see if you didn't know, you lonesome, you sleep. You're not. But when you see all his friends, all you there, we moving good together, we say, let's have a little shanty. So you start now, sometimes I didn't know, you hear say, hello, 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 boy, on the way they go. Hello, boy, hello, beam, and he strike at the door. Hello, boy, hello, oh, give me the thing you did promise me. Hello, boy, hello, you little thing by your navel string. Hello, boy, hello, oh, bam, and he strike at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself lively.
And did you sing when you were pulling up anchor, when you were hauling anchor in, or?
Yes.
And when you're pulling up the main sheet?
Well,
not so much.
No, I sing so much. It's when you're sailing out at sea in the night, you feel, you keep yourself lively. Mm-hmm. You say something on the behalf of sailorman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you ever sing about Amsterdam? Amsterdam?
No.
A roving's been my ruin. Did you ever hear that?
No. I heard it. A mister just like you. They call him Mr. Pierre, you remember?
Yes.
You know
he
Mr.
sang
Pierre?
it to you, huh?
Yes. Mr.
But
Pierre.
you never heard that before?
No, not before.
And what else did you know besides high-low boys?
What that? So, well, high-low boy, let's go. That will make jolly. Hmm? Oh, no, not many.
Many.
Yes. Besides that.
Sing me one other one.
Sing another one. Caesar boy, I know you well, bully. Hey, hey, Caesar boy, I know you well, bully. Long time ago, oh, long time was a very good time, bully. Hey, 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 long time in Mobile Bay, bully. Long time ago. Caesar boy, I know you well, bully. Hey, I know Caesar look at Cotty Blacks as bully long time ago.
Good, good. Fun.